Hello guys, welcome back. In my last video, I had shown you how to install and set up the LAMP stack manually in a single server. But if you have to set off the same LAMP stack into multiple servers, suppose 15 servers, how you will do it? So manually installing and setting up the database into all the servers, it will take quite lots of time, and also there are chances of human errors. Okay, so to overcome this problem, we can use Ansible and write the playbook to execute in multiple servers quickly. So in this video, I'll show you how to convert the manual steps into automations and write your own playbook step by step so that it can be reused to install and configure the LAMP stack and do the web application deployment easily. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it now. You will get notified when I upload more videos. So let's start writing the playbook. Let me log into the server where my Ansible is installed. Okay, I have logged into my Ansible server. Let me write the playbook here. So I'll just use the VI editor here. I hope you know how to write the playbook and execute it, right? So let's give the hosts. Suppose I'll give us LAMP server and become true. Let me add the tasks here. Okay, so tasks, what are the tasks I need? So I need the number of manual steps. Okay, so what are the manual steps we had performed? The same things I'm going to add in different tasks in the playbook. So the first task I'm going to do, like to install the Apache server. Okay, what I will do to install the Apache server? Give name. So we have to use the module called the yum module to install the Apache server. Okay, so to write that, we have to write ansible dot built-in dot yum. Okay, and we have to give name equal to httpd state equal to present. Okay, so what it will do, it will just install the httpd package. So state equal to present. If we will give present or installed, it will install the new package if it is not available. Okay, so let's go ahead and add another task. So the task name is install PHP. So now we have installed our web server. Now let's install the PHP. So here in PHP, we need to add two packages, right? We need to install two packages. So here I'm going to use the loop in Ansible to add two packages. I'm not going to write multiple tasks for the single installation. So here I'm going to write loop using with items. Okay, so let's write it name equal to. So here I'm going to use the Jinja template. Okay, hope you are aware about this. Here I'm going to use with items, with underscore items, and I need to explain the items here. Okay, so the first item is PHP and the second item is PHP MySQL. Okay, PHP MySQL. Okay, so let me add one more task is called. So here I'm going to use another module is called copy module. Okay, Ansible dot built-in dot copy source equal to, suppose give the source where your application, web application content available. So in my case, it is available in my home directory. Okay, suppose I will use ec2-user. So the application name is, so my application name is technical. So it is should be technician report. Technician report. Okay, the same content I'll just copy to the destinations. Okay, to the remote server. So you have to add the destination here, dest, and give the destination where you want to copy the file. So if you know how to use this copy, just use the Ansible documentations. Okay, so if you go to the copy module, you can see the copy module here. Just click the copy module here. Okay, and you'll find the parameters. What are the parameters will be mandatory to use. Okay, suppose you can see here destinations and source, right? You can see here source, the path, local path to a file to copy the remote server, and destination is the remote path where you want to, remote absolute path where the file should be copied. Okay, so you can follow the documentations and see the parameters, what parameters can be used. Okay, so let's go ahead and start writing another task. Download the MariaDB repo. Now our deployment is done. Let's start installing the MariaDB. Okay, so let's go ahead and open the manual, right, manual installations process of MariaDB. The same things we are going to automate, right? Let's write the first task to download the MariaDB repo. We are going to use the get URL module. So I'll quickly write it, Ansible dot built-in dot get underscore URL. Okay, built-in dot get underscore URL. Now what I'm going to use the get URL module. First you have to specify the URL. Okay, let's copy the URL from the manual steps here. Copy it here. Let's paste it here. Now what we need, we have to give the path where the file will be placed. So just give the destination. I want this to be downloaded to my local directory. Okay, so let me just copy this local path here. So and keep the repo name here. Okay, now you can see the get URL module also here. Now what I need, we need another task to set off the versions. If we go here and check, we need to set off the versions. Okay, so let me just add another task called, so I'm going to use the command module. Okay, I'm going to use the command module here. So for this we have to use cmd, and let's copy the command what we need to execute it, right? Now this needs to be executed as root user. Okay, it should be executed as root user. So let's write that. Let me add another task here to remove cache. This also needs to be executed as part of root user. Okay, so let me copy this block here and paste it. So the next step is to install MariaDB, both Maria server and client. So just give a name. So just give MariaDB server. So you can get it the details from here, from the manual procedures whatever we have written, right? So MariaDB server, and the other one is MariaDB client. Okay, MariaDB client. Now this also need to be installed as root user. Okay, so let me copy this part. I don't need to rewrite it. Okay, let me copy this part. Done. So the next task, I need to copy some DOM file so that whenever the DB will get created, whatever content available in the DOM file, SQL DOM file, it will be executed. Okay, I'll show you what the DOM file contains. Okay, let me write it first. So what you need for copy, we need source and destination. Okay, so the source is in the same path where the Ansible playbook is there. I have kept the file over there. So the file name is dom.sql. So the destination, let me copy it to the. Now let me just write another task to start the MariaDB server. So here to start the server, we can use the service module. So we can use the service to start the MariaDB. We can use enabled to, okay, enabled to and state state. So we have to set up the root password. So for that, we need to use some kind of community module, MySQL community module, to execute and set up the root password. So let me write it down that. So we can use as name, we have to use a module called MySQL user to set up the user password. So user is the root password. Okay, so how you'll do it, let me show you. You can go to the community module. Okay, so we can go to the community module, and here you can find it out. So if you go to the community module here, community.mysql module, here you'll find all the details, available modules here, which module you need to use it. So to reset the passwords and all, so I'm going to use MySQL underscore user module. So let's go here, and you'll see the requirement. Below requirements are needed to host that execute this module. So to use this module, we need that these particular prerequisites should be there in the remote server to execute the module. Okay, so what else we need for the parameters? We need, suppose, the host name, which host we need to execute it, the login users, right? So you can find it here. So we can find it here, the host, the login user here, okay, the login user, the password. Also, if you go down here in the node sections, it clearly mentions like we need to install some kind of like MySQL Python or some kind of MySQL client library. Okay, so what we can do, how to write it, if you go down here, you can find lots of examples here. Okay, a bunch of examples where you can find it out how to write it. Simply you can copy it here and use what are the things you need to use, like host, state, and all the details, right? Passwords, everything you can find it. So let me copy this part so that it will save my time. Okay, just copy, paste it over here. Right, now what I'm going to use it here, I'm going to use check implicit admin. Okay, so if you go here, it has given an example of the admin facilities, whether it is true or not. Okay, so you can use that one. Otherwise, sometimes what happens, it will throw error while changing the password. Check implicit admin. We need to add the host, which host it need to be installed or change the password. Okay, localhost. Now we need the login user, login underscore user, okay, root. Now what we need, login password. So what we can do it here, we cannot write the plain text password here because we are going to use multiple times here the passwords. So instead what we can do, we can create a variables files. Also we can use the Ansible vault to store the sensitive informations like passwords in the vault, and you can use it. So I'm not going to show you in that way to write the vault and all, but I'll just show you how to set up this in a variable, and that variable can be called here. Okay, so let me just put the variable name here, and you know how to call the variables, right? Suppose I'll give the variable name as MySQL underscore root underscore password. Okay, so this is the login password. I'm going to use it. Now what I'm going to do that, so this is the login user ID and password. So I have to change the user of root, keep the password as just copy, paste it here. So what we need to do, we need to declare this variable name, right, and assign some value there. So let me copy this and go to the top sections here, and we have to add here under the become, we need to add the var section. Okay, it should be vars, keep the variable name here, give a value to it. Suppose I'll give password 01. Okay, so it is password 01. Now let's go down. We need to add one more task here, right? We can see it here. We used the MySQL user. So to use this MySQL user or this MySQL community module, there should be the package, should be the dependencies should be installed. So the dependency name is, I'm going to use MySQL Python. Okay, so let me install. Prior to MySQL underscore user module, you should have used to install this particular dependencies, otherwise it will throw error. Okay, so let's write like install dependencies. Okay, so we need to use same yum module. Okay, use ansible dot built-in dot yum state equal to, so the module name is MySQL hyphen Python. MySQL hyphen. So that's all. So we install the dependency whatever is required for the MySQL underscore user module. Okay, now let's go ahead and add one more task, which will be to create a database. Okay, create a database. So this database creation also we are going to do in the playbook. Okay, going to use another module is called MySQL underscore DB. Okay, so if you go to the MySQL underscore DB module, you can see here it says add or remove MySQL databases from a remote host. Okay, so we can use this module to create a new database. So let's go ahead and add like the community same, just copy paste here. Instead of user, I'll just use DB. So we have to give the name of the DB, name of the database. Which database do you want to create? Okay, so name I'll give suppose MB database, like manually we had given, right? MB database, and state present. So it will create the new database. So our database is created. Now what we can do, whatever the dump file was copied, right, as part of the copy dump file here, right? So we had copied to our temp folder. Now we need to import that dump file into the database. So what it will do, it will just import the database as soon as the database is created, that MB database. Okay, let me write the task here. All these things need to be added here. Okay, all these things needs to be added there. So let me add all this. Okay, make sure that internet should be correct, right, as per the Ansible guidelines and Ansible tools, which the internet should be equal for all attributes or all parameters. Now what we can do here, so we added the login user ID and password, so we need to import it. So what we have to use, state equal to import, and give the name of the database, okay, where you need to import it. So it will be MB database. Give the target where the DOM file is available. So give the target, and our DOM file is in our tmp folder, and the file name is dom.sql, right? So we have written all the tasks. Now what are the things we are going to execute it? Okay, now just go ahead once, what are the things we have written it. So let's see what this DOM file contains. Okay, if I do this DOM file here, what it contains, it simply contains few details here. First, it is going to create DB table, create a table called user. It's just a create statement, that SQL create table statement here, right? Is going to create a table. After that, what is going to do here, it is going to add some data into the user table. Okay, and then I'm going to create another table. It's called tutorials underscore table. That is what we had created in our manual steps, right? The same things we can see it over here. So let's go ahead and see the inventory file and how we have set up the inventory files. Okay, just go to the inventory folder, that is etc Ansible here. Okay, sorry, cd etc Ansible. If I open, let me open as super user. Okay, so I have one group, it's called lamp server. Let me just add the IP addresses of the remote server where we are going to install all the packages and this lamp stack. Okay, there should be connectivity between these two remote servers to your Ansible root servers. So if we do Ansible -m ping and just give the lamp server, so that it will give us whether we have access to the server or not. Okay, good. So what we can see here, we can see it is able to connect to the server, so it gives success, it is able to ping the server. Now let's go ahead and execute the playbook. So let me write Ansible playbook. Okay, just write the playbook name here. So the playbook name is lamp.yml. Okay, now hit enter. So if everything goes well or everything is written successfully, there is no issues, no indent error, no typos or anything, so it will go through and install all the softwares and deploy our applications, also create the database successfully. Okay, so you can see here the logs is just installing Apache and both the servers, installing PHP and both the servers. So we'll wait for a few seconds and let's see what is happening. Okay, so you can see here all the things are getting installed. Okay, everything has now successfully been installed. So to make sure that everything is working fine or not, so let's go ahead and grab the IP address and let's log in to the web applications. Okay, let's see whether our web application is working or not. Let's go ahead and hit enter. What it says, this site cannot be reached. Okay, so it could be two reasons, whether the port of the Apache server, that is 80, is not firewalled, or the Apache server is not running. So let's log into this server and see whether the Apache server is running or not. So if I go ahead and just log into the Apache server here, okay, use system ctl status httpd, sorry, there is a typo again, here should be status. So it says it is inactive or dead. Okay, it's not running. So what we did, we missed one step in our YAML file to start the Apache server after the deployment. Okay, we should have started the Apache server after the deployment. So let me modify the YAML file. Okay, so what we can do here, we can simply add one more task here to start our Apache server after the deployment is done. Okay, so let's hit enter. Can go ahead, add name, start Apache server. Okay, so what we need the module service. Okay, now save this playbook and rerun the playbook. Okay, let's see what's happening. So whatever things already installed and copied everything, that things will not be executed again. Only the things which is only the task which is newly added. Okay, now if we can go ahead and check our server. Okay, so if I go ahead and check now the status of the HTTP server, see, it is now running. And same time, if we can go here and refresh it, see, our Apache server is back. Now what we can do here, write the applications, right? The application name, it is technician report, right? We had copied that web applications to the Apache web server. See, it is working perfectly. Okay, so we had given username and password to the applications to open, right? So we had set up the username. Suppose if I give mb admin, so this is what the password was given, the user ID was created. Okay, so let me give the password here. If I hit enter, good, that means our database is completely working. So all the setups whatever we have done in our YAML file, it has created. Now you can understand clearly, right, how to write the playbook and execute it, and how we can install this LAMP stack and configure it in multiple servers. Hope you understood clearly everything. If you have any doubt or any concerns, please do write me in the comment sections below. I'll just answer your queries. You can get this YAML file link in my YouTube descriptions. Okay, and I'll just put all this YAML codes and the playbook code in my GitHub repositories. Also, I'll paste the link in my YouTube descriptions. You can get it from there. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe now so that you'll get notified whenever I add more videos on the topics. Thank you.